Hello. Uh, how are you all today? Hmm. This is it's the last Sunday of Advent. I'll do a normal Sunday ramblings, I guess. Um, apparently, there's been some public displays of dissent against President Zelensky in Ukraine. A possible future president of Ukraine has been saying things, and his approval rating hasn't gone down. Um, uh, we need to keep our eyes on what's going on in Ukraine. It's actually happening in our continent, uh, but Putin has put up the military spending in Russia by 30%, and so it's now 1.3 million soldiers, 170,000 more soldiers. Um, he's doing this before next year's presidential election. I don't know why he's doing something before presidential elections. I mean, he fixes them anyway, doesn't he? So um, there's that story. Uh, Also, um, while we've been looking at what's going on in Gaza, the regime in Iran has taken it as an opportunity to uh, execute more people without the world noticing. Uh, I mean, it's basically between 7th of October and the end of November, 127 people were executed in Iran. 22-year-old, yeah, quite a couple of 22-year-olds, 17-year-old boy who was found guilty of murder apparently after giving a forced confession. Um, that's Iran. The Iranian regime is getting more desperate because, well, I don't think it's going to be around for long. Uh, what's happening locally? Well, right. Now, the Town's Regeneration Fund, uh, East Suffolk, have used it across towns in East Suffolk, and these plans would have been brought in by the last Conservative administration. So they haven't. Well, they want to get rid of the Conservative government before they make us all live by candlelight. But what their money has been spent on it. 248,000. Every town in East Suffolk has town centre free Wi-Fi, town centre Wi-Fi. Every town in East Suffolk, wayfinding signage, food and drink trails, leaflets and website improvements, and visual panels and maps and notice boards to help people get around and encourage tourism and stuff. Planters dropped curbs for disabled access and marker regeneration projects. I don't quite know what Ipswich Labour is spending the money on. I mean, there's no free Wi-Fi in the town centre. I mean, there is signage about that. Former Conservative councillor Tanya DeHoot was the one behind that. Food and drink, nothing like that. Town leaflets, website. I mean, no. I mean, I mean, drop curbs for disabled access. I mean, well, the state, market regeneration. Well, Ipswich market is shrinking, isn't it? They're also doing things to help small local businesses, which is something Ipswich Labour aren't doing. And I will talk about what's going on in Ipswich because we intend this to be our last Christmas in exile. Now, if Labour does anything, Ipswich Labour does anything, they'll actually say it's them doing it, not the government. But let's play fair, shall we? It seems to be according that the green and yellow administration of East Suffolk is attempting to take credit for Suffolk Quiet Lanes. That's actually Conservative Suffolk County Council who is behind that, so they can cut that out, can't they? As I said, it's the last Sunday of Advent. And Advent is about preparing and looking to Christ's coming. But it's not actually, we are not looking to the coming of a baby in a manger and lots of things. There is no saying we don't really know what he looked like, and so they would claim he was black or he was, and blah blah blah, and the Bible doesn't say what he looks like. Actually, there's no description of him in the Bible. They say. Where are we? Oh yes, Revelation 1 from verse 12. I turned to see the voice that was speaking to me. When I turned, I saw 7 lampstands, and amongst the lampstands was one like the Son of Man, dressed in a long robe and with a gold sash wrapped around his chest. His head and hair were white like wool, white as snow, his eyes like a fiery flame, his feet like fine bronze fired in a furnace, and his voice like the sound of cascading waters. In his right hand he had 7 stars. From his mouth came a sharp 2-edged sword, and his face was shining like the sun at midday. When I saw him, I fell to my feet, and he put his right hand on me and said, "Do not be afraid. I'm the first and the last, and the living one. I was dead, but look, I am alive forever and ever, and I hold this key of death and Hades." There's also a lot of talk around Christmas about shepherds, isn't there? And I would, I mean, they were told because a lamb had been born, but the person I've just described just so happens to be my shepherd, and I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, and he's got the keys of death and Hades. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. Your cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Right. sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But anyway, the next. Merry Christmas.